Silence. That's today's topic. It's one of the things that you'll never know you're missing until you find it. I know I didn't. I had to stop moving and just sit there for a second. Really breathe it in. Right now I'm in one of my favorite places in the world because it's one of the only places that I can experience something close to quiet. It's on the outer edge of my town, right next to the lake, the fake lake, but the lake nonetheless. And so the presence of water and trees and darkness and a bit more quiet means that you can hear the crickets and the frogs at night. Sometimes the birds, but that's during the day. Birds like to sleep too. Sound of the water. It's nice. Speaking of silence, I was riding my bike on the way here and Major Tom came on. Oh, love that song. Such a vibe, right? And it reminded me of the astronauts who are on their way back from around the moon, furthest away humans have ever been from Earth. I know all of us are a little bit envious of them. And they got their phone call with a certain president today over the phone. That's usually how phone calls are conducted, I've heard. And after he finished his rant about Wayne Gretzky or something or other, they said nothing. Total silence. They just sat there and stared and smiled. And sometimes that's the most powerful thing you can do, is to say nothing, do nothing. It was a quiet moment of rebellion that I have immense respect for. Especially because there were, of course, Americans on board too, with the Canadian. And I think it was very respectful of them to participate as well, the way he talks about Canada. Anyway, he finishes his rant, and after the silence goes on for a very, very long moment. Because he stopped talking, they were wondering if they got disconnected. These planes that keep flying over my head and ruining my silence, because there's a route that goes right over my town to one of the busiest airports in the country, which I love so much, is that they are intrusive, obnoxious, and always there when you don't want them to be. And after he repeats his entire rant about something that is totally relevant to flying a spaceship around the moon, just more silence. We could all do a little bit more of that in our lives, I think. There are people who do things just to get a reaction, just to get a rise out of you. And when emotions are high, things can get dangerous. But it's also when you can do one of the most powerful things, which is to do absolutely nothing, not even dignify it with a response. And a lot of the time, that's exactly what you need to de-escalate things. When people have a moment to breathe and kind of play back what they just said in their own head for a second, most of the time they'll calm down and regret it. And that can lead to genuine, good discussion and discourse. Something we, again, need more of these days, it seems. Even outside of conversations. This modern world, it's got a lot of noise. Especially here in the States. Lots and lots of noise. It's something that you do never notice until it's gone. I'm sure anybody else who has experienced proper silence or quiet can agree with me. And it's one of the greatest feelings in the world. It does make it a little hard to go back to that noise, but we get used to it again. And it gives us that craving to find those quiet places, to find that silence in our lives, that peace. Because everyone wants to be at peace. And these quiet places can give us that. If only for a moment. That might be everything that you need. So if you can do it, if you can find a place, some water, a park, or just somewhere away from the roadways at sunset, maybe even later if you're a night owl, just go out and just take it in for a second. Couple minutes, couple hours, however long you can stomach it. Might tell you what you need to know. I know that it's a great way for me to decompress, de-stress. When I'm out here and I can hear the wonderful racket of nature, it can help put things in perspective. And needless to say, there's plenty of studies talking about the positive effects and benefits of forest bathing or just sitting down and listening to nature can have. Everyone acknowledges this. Everyone acknowledges that being in nature is just better. But why don't we do anything about it? There's lots of reasons. I'm curious what you think the reason is why we don't try and integrate more nature into our lives, more silence into our lives. I'm curious who you have to blame for it. I have plenty of things and people and whatnot to blame. But perhaps we can all build a pollution-free world together. No more air pollution, water pollution, ground pollution. No more light pollution. No more noise pollution. We can all be a pollution-free society, and we can stop polluting each other's minds. Perhaps that is the greatest challenge. Maybe that's just what's keeping us from living in a clean world. Try and find some silence. That's my homework for you today. And meanwhile, I'm going to turn off my light and just listen. Something that I wish I did a lot more often. So I'm going to start now. I think you should too. You'll be amazed how much you can learn from just turning your light off and listening. Whether it's with your partner, which I could stand to do more of. I wish I did more. Your family, your friends. Make people feel heard. And appreciate the silences you share with others. Because there is something really special about the connections that you can be totally silent with. That right there, that's a strong bond. A bond worth preserving and pursuing. There's moths flying around, tiny little moths flying around my camera because the light's right next to it. Well, I guess I better help them out and let them go find some other thing to fly towards. Keep them from getting distracted like I am. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next time.